But trying should be make its recommendations now,
Yes.
as we speak, more or less. Right, the regulator.
Yes.
And at least, Minister Prasad has said that, he's supportive of net neutrality.
Yeah.
So we see how it goes.
So what do you think of that?
No, as said, we think that net neutrality should be defended. It's very important. We can't see any benefits if you make the rules. The thing is, obviously, telco industry, they need to have the revenue streams in place. But this is not the right place. I am sure that governments and telco industry can find solutions so that the revenue will be also there, but not using this kind of solutions. So eventually, as said, we see that it will block the innovation. It really will block the innovation, because innovation usually comes from companies, startup companies, who are, let's say, not afraid of thinking outside the box.
The first question what I want to know that brief about Estonia and regarding Estonia.
Of course, it's as you know, nowadays e-government is not a luxury product, but it's a necessity. Every country understands that this is something that every government should provide. And as governments understand it, they understand that it's more and more a moving target, meaning that people want more and more. If you already cannot have access to some certain services, people want more, because they understand how easy it is, how much the life becomes easier for them, and also transparency will increase. It's cost effective, so that people want more and more. And we decided already back in 1999 that e-government is something we need, and we launched paperless e-cabinet in Estonia. 1999. Yes. That thing is, what I said, what has changed in the last 16 years. In 1999, it wasn't what I said before, a vulgar thing. In Estonia also it was that we had a very, let's say, ambitious Prime Minister who said this is what we should do. I have to say that in Estonia at that time it was supply driven. We cannot say that public really wanted it, Estonians wanted it. Prime Minister said no, this is the future, we go for it. And he decided that government services should be provided online. Now, of course, we think how we would live without them. But that time, when the first services were rolled out, we didn't have this kind of, there was a clear demand from the public that we should have it. Now everything has changed. And then now gradually services have piled up, new things. We have understood how important and cost effective it is, especially coming from a small country. And coming from a country that had a past that comes from a former, let's say, Soviet system, that how to transform the country, meaning how to get rid of corruption, how to make society more transparent. So all these things have been facilitated by introduction of e-governments, e-services. So now many things are there. As said, we today you get access to more than 4,000 e-services online. They are not all government, they are also private, but they are linked to the system, like e-school or many e-health services. All these things, e-banking, everything is linked to the whole system. One system, we call it X-Road, that links everything. And of course we have gone a step further than many countries, because every other country also has its own e-government policy. But we have implemented already for a long time now digital signature, meaning that at the embassy also I sign all the papers digitally. Okay. And these are equal to the handwritten ones everywhere in European Union.
What about the e-commerce industry?
Yes. Of course, now I have to add also that probably you don't know much about Estonia. Estonia is a small country in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
Our language is similar to Finnish, so in the same language family. So our geography is there, our business climate is there, our culture is there, so Estonia is a Nordic country. We're small, but we have empowered ourselves through the memberships in the European Union, so Estonia is a European Union member, also meaning we're part of Schengen, we're part of the Eurozone. Estonia is part of NATO, Defense Alliance. Estonia is part of OECD, Estonia is part of all the major organizations. So meaning that we make our size irrelevant. Because through those organizations, when you think of Estonia, you don't think of Estonian market, you think of European Union market. Because you know, European Union is a real common market. In to a certain extent, it's a more common market than India. Because there are still barriers between states in India. If you trade, in the European Union there are not. So this is the big difference. So e-commerce, but still now e-commerce comes to play. You have a very correct question. We think that there is much we can do in e-commerce. E-commerce is popular in Estonia, but in e-commerce the EU market doesn't function well yet. And the problem is mostly twofold. One thing is that the companies themselves, let's say big companies like, let's say, Amazon or other e-commerce companies, if they really have to navigate in different legal systems in different countries, then obviously the first ones will be big ones, and only then followed by the small ones like Estonia. So that they try to actually understand the legal system of France and Germany, and then the story. Now, the second, as a twofold, the second reason, of course, is that the European Union member states have not paid attention to that too much. Just to how to harmonize legislation so that e-commerce also would be, let's say, effective throughout the European Union by the same principles. Now, of course, it's a very timely question also in this regard that the digital Europe policy was rolled out just a month ago. Exactly, this was the main issue: how to make the European Union a common market for e-commerce. Now the thing is why Estonia has prominence as well. You might know that the European Union is run by an executive body called European Commission. And the European Commission functions so that every member state, European Union has 28 member states, has one commissioner. So it doesn't matter if you're big or small. So Germany has one commissioner, Estonia has one commissioner, Portugal has one commissioner. The European Commission is run by a former Prime Minister of Luxembourg, Mr. Juncker. And the Vice President of the European Commission is Andrus Ansip, our long-time former Prime Minister. And he's in charge of digital Europe. So that also Estonian is running the digital Europe agenda. So meaning that also we give our expertise to the European Union how to make European Union a single market. So that to make a long story short, it is crucial. E-commerce is crucial. This is something also to boost the business inside the European Union. It's coming. We understand also that in Europe that the competition is global. So it's not only European Union.
High internet speed is a big challenges for the developing nation, country like India. So what's your views?
High internet speed.
Speed.
Here I think, Estonia and India, for example, we share many similarities. Two things. Like in India, so in Estonia, we invest a lot to mobile internet. So that you can have 4G network covering the whole Estonia, and now also in India, many network companies also try to roll out 4G network. It is important because most Indians have mobile phones. Not everybody has access to the computers. And also in Estonia, more and more people are mobile, so that they actually mostly use internet through mobiles and not through the computers. Secondly, again, what is similar, what India has and what we have, We have a project that that covers the whole Estonia with fiber optics put underground. Because one thing is, yes, you can have a wireless network, but quite often nothing beats just physical cable.
Can Digital India is feasible this coming time, as India is facing the slow internet speed?
I think the Digital India program is extremely crucial, and that's why it really helps, in my opinion, it really helps to bypass quite many shortcomings India has. You just, as I always take the example that when Estonia re-established its market economy in the early 90s, then when we established the banking sector, all banks bypassed checkbooks. In Estonia, no single bank issues you a checkbook. We went to internet bank straight in the early 90s. Now, the same happens here. I said, probably India will bypass computers, you go straight to mobile phones. And mobile phones are more secure, quite often, and much more widely available, and it's with you all the time. So that Digital India in this respect is extremely crucial. Now, I think, of course, there are challenges. India speed. It sounds a bit like a cliché, but I have to say that I like to think that in India, I quite often hear that things are difficult to achieve and implement because just India is so big. Granted. Now, in my opinion, is that India takes too often being a billion nation as a challenge. How often do you hear the private sector says that the billion is bad? They say it's an opportunity. So that yes, the challenges are there, but you should take it as an opportunity. And also in Digital India, like we did, all the services in e-governance are provided by the private sector. That's being outsourced. So that also, in India, I think India is the same as I always see how the services have been provided. That the government just needs to know what it wants, and then the private sector just do it. And the best solution wins, and they have to bypass the challenge of a country being too big. And I think, most probably they will not take it as a challenge, they will take it as an opportunity. Coming from a million country, not a billion country. Even in Estonia, a small country, we tend to think that billion usually is better than million.
The instrument for socio-economic development.
Yeah, providing good e-governance, it has become a moving target. Because as people get used to the services that are provided online, they want more. They want better services, they want smoother services, they want more transparency. The thing also is that if I take Estonia, you get most services there. They're available. Now, our biggest challenge is how to make the services better. Not even what service you have, but how to make the already existing services better. So that they are easy to handle, they increase even more transparency, all these kind of questions. And like big data comes to prominence these days. As we have so many services, we have so much data available. Now the question is also in Estonia that gives a lots of food for thought and opportunities for startups. All the info is there. Now the question is what to do with it. They have to come up with the creative ideas how to use all the data available. If they take the traffic, if they whatever information. Smart cities, of course, like in India, in Estonia as well, we do a lot in smart cities or IoT, Internet of Things, because everything is there. More or less what the IT companies say, the question these days is not that there is no info. The question is there is too much info. And how to use it, how to really understand what info is useful and how to make it, how to make it profitable.
So, what your opinion to Make in India can change the Indians' manufacturing sector, which is performing not good well after the Make in India, we expect some, what your views on Make in India?
Because India has the pool that really makes it so much easier to establish plants here, to make India a big powerhouse of industry. Of course, although now I go against my own words, there are huge challenges. But the thing is, what the challenges are. Mostly these concerning bureaucracy, infrastructure, but these are all the issues that the government right now are facing, and really trying to change the situation. Again, if you take bureaucracy, this is where Make in India and Digital India go hand in hand. Because if you really want to make things much easier, for example, if you want to build a plant, you need different permissions, licenses, and so on. Make it online. It makes so much easier. First of all, how to get the licenses, meaning it's more transparent. You don't need to see a person. Maybe a person, you need to find a person who issues the paper you need. And then you know how much it takes time and so on. When it's online, everything track is left behind. You can see exactly when you find the application, where it stands, what is the status of the application, when it was granted. So all the info is there, and I think that's why the e-country part of Digital India, I think it's crucial. It really will complement Make in India.
Initiated by Facebook, the internet.org. They actually launched in developing nation like Asian and African countries to provide a free internet. Can government of India can initiate such movements so Digital India become more feasible?
It's always either even if it's financed by the state or government budgets, it's not free. Meaning somebody pays for it.
Yeah.
So that first is kind of even the slogan is a bit let's say misleading. Otherwise, of course, more people we can get to have access to internet, the better, obviously. But of course, as I said before, that we have to be extremely clear that there are not any restrictions to anybody. Really, as I said, if there is a young, smart girl in a remote village in Bihar, but has a bright idea, nobody believes in her, and she wants to show it to the world, that she should have the opportunity to show it to the world, and then maybe it lifts off, and she will become famous, another big success story of India. So, but if it really requires that you have to know the right people, or you have to pay monthly fee or whatever, then it already puts a limitation. And this is not what we in Estonia.
It's totally online.
Yes.
There is fear of cyber security.
Yes.
That's our latest speak is covering the cyber security issue in the most effective manner. So Estonia facing the cyber security issue.
Yes, this is a very important question, and in our e-governance system as well, this has been the key concern. And you should never underestimate the worries of cybersecurity. At the same time, again, this is where I say that yes, concerns are there, but you shouldn't take it as a challenge only. It's an opportunity as well. So you shouldn't keep yourself back because there are challenges. You just have to address them. So security for us has been the key. That's why also when we rolled out the e-residency, meaning giving the access to online service for non-residents. The idea was there before. The longest we were thinking, what is the minimum criteria we need to ask from every applicant to issue them an e-residency card? What is the minimum so that we can make sure that you are substantial? We have to make sure. If you cannot make sure that you are the one who's used the services online, the whole system will collapse. So this was the biggest, because trust is not there anymore. So that was the biggest concern for us, and so we really figured out what is the minimum. Now, of course, in digital world it is always so, as Internet of Things, or more and more devices are linked to the Internet. I think we cannot predict all the risks there are. We just need to be prepared and address them as they arise. Some things you can prepare, some things you can't. So in Estonia we have taken it very seriously, meaning that also the same institution that runs let's say the backbone of e-governance in Estonia is also responsible for providing the defense against the cybersecurity risks. So that they do both. It's extremely important. Also, we increased fast our cybersecurity expertise. You might know, you might not know that NATO, the Defense Alliance, its center of excellence in cybersecurity, the only one they have, is located in Estonia, in Tallinn. So that it's only not in the civilian use, but also in military use. So that this center, for example, last year published the first ever attempt to really regulate the rules in cyber warfare, and it was called Tallinn Manual. So named after our capital, where it's located.